Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Nerdcast. Today, we have something different for you. It's more of an English gentleman with bad teeth. But you know what it's going to be? It's going to be shagadelic, baby. Yeah!
In 1967, an international secret agent was cryogenically frozen in case the world ever required his services again. Now, evil is threatening the Earth, and the time has come to bring him back into the 90s.
It's not unusual.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Danger Powers' personal effects.
Actually, my name is Austin Powers. Danger's my middle name.
I'm gonna need you to sign these release forms.
Okay, name. Sex? Yes, please.
In his time, he was the coolest secret agent alive. Unfortunately,
It's freedom, baby, yeah!
this is not his time. He's a swinger in a square world.
A lot's changed since 1967.
Bring on the sexy stews, man! Yeah!
We're called flight attendants now.
And he's a stranger in a strange land.
This is my mother, Mrs. Exposition.
Lovely.
Austin!
What have you done?
That's not your mother, it's a man, baby! Why won't this wig come off?
Judo, Judo.
Ow! That really hurt. Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Mike Myers,
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Elizabeth Hurley,
Don't forget these.
Oh, thanks.
Austin Powers. International man of mystery.
Always wanting to have fun, Austin. That's you in a nutshell.
No, this is me in a nutshell. Help! I'm in a nutshell!
I told you guys, it's going to be amazing. But first, before we get into this movie review, I must bring on my favorite man in the world. The most lovable ass you've ever seen. Mr. Tim Rogers.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, like a true nature's child, I was born to be wild. Too much sugar. Sorry.
Too much sugar?
Too much sugar.
Well, it happens. So, I've seen this movie a million times, and do you want to know the last part of that theatrical trailer was the most frustrating thing in my whole life for like so fucking long, dude. Sorry, I'm nerdcast and everything, but dude, how this dude? They had to be forklift into like in my mind as a child. I'm like, how did they even get it so you can't turn that? Like I know how blocks fit into. I was good at the square block fit in the square hole, circle fits in the circle hole, triangle fits in the triangle hole, the X fits in the X hole. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I was so good at that. I was like, dude, on to the next thing. And then when I see that, it boggles my mind.
It had
Honestly,
to be forklift in.
I really want to hear from a third party. Somebody that can tell me about squares and trigonometry. Mr. Andy O.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Myself. Ah!
What's up?
I do. What's going on, brother?
Oh, another Wednesday.
So, another amazing day. Guys, before we get into the movie review, I literally think it's been over a month since I've been down in the Batcave. What the
It's
hell
been a
y'all
minute.
been doing?
Well,
What y'all been doing, bro? Oh, we lost one of you. There we go.
I literally had a good conversation with Chris Nelms. However, the video did not come across. And then I had Mike from PTM tell me he's the exact same thing you told me to Mike Jones from PTM.
Oh. I thought you said Matt. My bad.
No, Mike.
Yeah, baby.
Literally
yeah.
tell me the exact same thing you did, and that's one of the key things why I want to take a hiatus from the fix to get my internet issues squared away, and then once they're squared away,
You having some Mendoza issues?
Yeah, he's tired of sharing the Mendoza internet.
Yeah.
shoot, I got
sharing from remote locations, and I have been left out of this equation.
Man, I have had Mendoza trailer park issues.
Oh, you're in the wrong trailer.
Have you seen this house? He has a basement. He don't live in a trailer park.
No, I'm just calling it trailer
But he
park
might live next
because
door to a trailer park who has good internet, and he's trying to steal off of that. Now that's just genius. That's
yeah,
boy Mendoza.
Absolutely.
But
But
we're about to get shagadelic. I don't know how you feeling. Kind of shagadelic. You know what I'm saying?
maybe I'm vaping the wrong thing right now.
Yeah, baby. So, seeing that we have all three of us on screen right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Broheim. You're
Yes.
going first. No, not you.
Oh, me?
I want Andy. This is not a Star Wars movie, thank God, because he almost got booted from the Nerdcast just now. We'll talk about that later. We want to know what you think about this movie.
So, this was a pretty good movie. It starts out basically, as you would expect, Austin Powers. He's a secret agent that grew up in the 60s when
Asian man.
when
Sorry.
sexual terms, beings, whatever, drugs, it was all kind of free ball back then, in the late 60s. He was a secret agent.
But not Colgate.
Yeah. So he was a secret agent, and then he was frozen in time to be preserved in case the type of work he did or the services he did were needed in the future. So fast forward, I think, what was it, 60 years later? 40 years later? I can't remember. Roughly. And they unfreeze him, and of course, they run into another gentleman that goes by Dr. Evil, who's trying to take over the world. He's trying to take over nuclear weaponry, so forth. So he's basically thawed. He goes through basically an assembly line of being prepared, coming back to life, getting all of his belongings, and then he's reunited, not with Miss Kensington, but Miss Kensington's daughter, who took over for her mother because her mother had retired since being acquaintances with Austin Powers in the 60s. So she basically has to follow him along and basically coax him as to what they need to do, what they need to get done, and what you can and can't do as to what you used to be able to do in the 60s. So he comes back to life, and he's got this mentality, like talking to every woman, like, you know, hey, you know, I'm here. Like, he, along with being a secret agent, he was also one of the biggest swingers of his era. So he still has that mentality that he can sleep with any woman and get any woman he wants, and that everybody wants him. And in reality, nobody knows who he is, other than the select people under the agency that he works for. So she kind of coaxes him back in and says, you can't do this. Things are different. And it turns into just a funny, like, eyeballing comedy back and forth between, them looking for clues as well as different signs of what Dr. Evil is doing, but at the same hand, him still trying to snap out of the 60s and realize that times are different and you can't do things the same way. So I give it a 5-star, and only because the creativity behind it, being that Mike Myers played at least 3 different characters, right? I could be wrong. Dr. Evil, Austin Powers, Fat Bastard. What?
We're not there yet. 2 characters in this movie.
Okay, 2 characters.
The hero and the villain.
And the villain. Okay. So
we'll get there. We'll get there on the next one.
I mean,
5
anybody
stars.
who's seen the series would already know.
5 stars. 5 stars from Andy O. Now, that's something. But thank you for the most vanilla review I've ever heard in my life. Now, Jim.
Whatever.
Bro, well, first of all, if you don't laugh during this movie, you ain't got a pulse. Number one.
Straight up, dude. You don't have a pulse if you can't laugh at this shit. Dude,
Number
this
one.
is the most funny movie you've ever seen in your life.
This is actually true.
We'll get to that. Later.
This movie is actually a spoof off of the 60s TV series called The Avengers. Not
007, dude, really?
No, if you ever saw the TV series The Avengers, you would say, okay, yeah, this is a spin-off of it.
No, it is not. It is a spin-off of 007. It's a spoof. I'm sorry, not a spin-off, a spoof. Dude, the guy's name is Random
or a
Task.
parody, if you will.
His name is Random Task.
I'm saying that they've taken bits and pieces of the Avengers. Mrs. Kensington being one of them in the black leather suit. That was in the Avengers. That was in the Avengers.
You're seeing what you want. Give us the review. Give us some stars. All right.
5 stars across the board, hands down. Mike Myers delivers the most brilliant performance ever when it comes to comedy. The only thing I would top this with would be Shrek. Mike Myers does an absolutely wonderful job doing this. The plot is very good, runs along really well. As Andy said, he was actually both Dr. Evil was frozen in space, and Austin was voluntarily frozen in case Dr. Evil ever returned. Quite frankly, this is the movie that actually made me have a crush with Elizabeth Hurley, Mrs. Kensington's daughter. And you can obviously see why, because she's absolutely gorgeous in this. Yes, there are bits of James Bond in this. I will give you that, brother. With the Odd Job from... definitely.
How'd that happen?
With Odd Job from the man Goldfinger. But to wrap mine up, Dr. Evil cracks me up during this. I think, Mike Myers, of course, does that. No, I'm not sure if he's related to you, Tony, but Mike Myers does an absolutely wonderful job as Dr. Evil and as Austin Powers, but Dr. Evil is the one that cracks me up during this movie. I mean, I get the giggles when I watch this movie.
Hug.
$1 million.
Get away from me, you lazy-eyed psycho. All right, my turn.
This review was brought to you by Number 2, aka America's Ass.
Okay. All right. You threw me off first. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. Man, messed me up. I gotta collect my shit for a second because that took me a second to calculate. Austin Powers. Mike Myers. Anything else?
That was Andy that burped.
That wasn't me.
I don't know who number 2 works for. I'm pretty sure he works for Jim at this point. There's no other way to say it. Like, I mean, he's the ass. So,
yeah, they're always after my Lucky Charms.
I was gonna say nobody said that in their reviews. It's like, oh, there's a kid. He's kids candy. We're having fun.
She's the most annoying character in the whole movie.
Frau Forbissinger.
Yeah. And then of course you got Will Ferrell. I'm badly injured.
Making Dr. Evil angry. And when Dr. Evil gets angry, Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset. And when Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, people die! Shh. Shh. And a whole bag of shh. Here with your name on it.
Do I know
Anyway.
you? No, but you're you and you're that.
Shh. 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 I thought the movie was great. I will give it a 5-star review all around. I loved the movie from top to bottom. The first time I ever watched it, I loved Mike Myers from SNL. Now, SNL comes from a background, for me, my grandmother has all the SNL tapes. If you guys have not seen the SNL tape of... That's Will Ferrell. Stop interrupting me with this comment. SNL is something that everybody, even Mr. Got Shot in the Arm came from. Adam Sandler, pretty much all of our 90s great comedians that turned actors all came from SNL. So when I saw this movie and seeing what it was about, unlike Jim that saw the Avengers there was no Avengers back then, unless you were reading comics, and I still couldn't draw that from that. But it's okay.
Daft?
It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
Okay.
It's a James Bond parody. Dude, if I have to bring my grandmother down here and put her on camera to show you and tell you why this is a pure James Bond parody, I will. And listen, she'll explain why she's very disappointed in me. And I don't want that to happen, so we don't have to bring it there. You know what I'm saying? Simply waiting on me right now. But what we need to talk about is how this great legend of a British intelligence agent had such bad teeth. You can't tell me you didn't have enough money. But either way, it's a great movie. I love it. 5 stars. You know what I love? When he's sitting there, he's like, I have one request. that the sharks have laser beams attached to their freaking heads. So what do we have? Sea bass. Right.
Okay, bro, I just sent you something via Messenger.
Are they ill-tempered? Extremely. Dude, I can't wait to get to the next one because this movie was so awesome. I watched it again tonight before reading it. I absolutely love this movie, and it makes me giggle every time I watch it. And it's so. What year was this movie out in?
I believe.
What year was this movie released?
98, I think.
Was it 98?
Hang on, I'll tell you right now. Let's see.
Check your messages there.
Man of Mystery came out in 97, it looks like. Yep, 1997. And the series ended in 2002.
Tell you what. I love Austin Powers. 5 stars.
This is how old school I remember going and renting it on VHS tape.
Oh! You didn't know? Oh, I didn't even download the picture. Dude, I literally could not find this on a streaming platform at all. Do you know how I watched it?
YouTube?
Nope. A DVD that I got from the $10.99 bin at Blockbuster. I got both stamps on it. Jim, tell me if I'm lying.
You still got a Blockbuster out there?
Damn.
No. Jim, I sent you the picture. What you mean, damn? You put that picture up here.
You mean so you watched it? You talking about how you watched it back then when it came out? Is that what you're saying?
I watched it tonight.
Okay.
On a DVD that had the flip, full screen, widescreen.
Mm-hmm.
That came from it had the $10.99 sticker and the Blockbuster sticker on the bottom. If you want me to do it, I will do it right now. I'm going to go off screen and I will show you. Want to make a bet?
Where'd you find it?
At friggin' Blockbuster, like 100 years ago. What do you mean? Where did I find it?
You had it in your collection. Okay.
All right,
listen, I thought maybe you bought it offline and it was just an old Blockbuster.
No, dude, I have the whole collection. I'm
Whatever, Emily. I still had it on DVD too. That's how I watched it. And I actually was going to rewatch pieces of it before we came on tonight. But every streaming service I looked at, it was either unavailable or wasn't even on there. So luckily, I have it in my partial Blockbuster collection behind me.
Yeah, he.
Oh, we lost Tony. Where'd he go?
He's backstage.
You know what? Fuck you, man.
Welcome to the Jim and Andy show.
the real man show.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, while I got you on here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to help us grow, help us build this up, build this franchise up, because we all want to retire and live on an island. He thinks I was kidding about the Avengers being a 60s show. Bam! Bam! Right there.
Wow. Was that like a TV show to rip off Sherlock Holmes, or?
There was a show called The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Tony?
Monitor your screens, gentlemen.
Bam! The Avengers TV show.
There's a movie
Bam.
like that too that don't even count. Nobody in the audience, nobody ever sees this is going to be thinking about that shit.
It was
The Avengers, really? That's what you think about? I'm thinking about Thanos. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Listen, Andy, look at the stickers, dude.
Yep.
Oh, that shit came up weak.
Yep. So that was probably.
Preview, $9.99, Blockbuster. Yeah.
I remember those. They sold them off once the video got so old. They sold them off, and they were basically rentals that they just sold off at a low price.
I know.
I actually have.
How old are you, Andy?
Me? 30. I'll be 31 in a month.
You're such a sweet kid.
See, well, I'm the oldest one in the crowd, so I can tell you that there were TV shows out there like the Man from U.N.C.L.E., the Avengers.
There's a movie like that now with your boy Ryan or Henry Cavill.
Cavill.
I got a few different tapes, but this isn't Austin Powers related, but just a reference. How they used to rent them out in these old style cases.
Bro, in those big VHS tape cases, yeah.
And then they had the this is an older style one, but I have a couple of them floating around somewhere. I have to look, but I have a few that still have the sticker on them too that say "Be kind, rewind."
I just watched a Family Guy episode where they went out for a family movie night, but there was only one Blockbuster left in the United States, and they were like almost there. I'm like, did you rewind? It's like, oh, it finally gives me a chance to return this tape that I rented. And she said, did you rewind the tape? And then it like fast forwarded back all the way back to his house and had to rewind. Like, you remember that sound that the rewinder made? Because you had to buy a rewinder?
Or you had to it was faster
to
buy a rewinder if you could afford
rewinder?
it. It was like 40. I had one. It was like a see-through kind of like brown tinted looking plastic.
You just put it in and it spun it backwards.
I
had a rewinder, man.
I had one about the color of this. It was a 57 Chevy. The back of it popped open, and you put the tape in and closed it, and it just...
My brother's friend had a red one. It looked like I think it looked like an Austin Healey or some kind of sports car. I can't remember, but it was red. I had a clear one, like a basic one. But even if you had that, you were doing good, because if you didn't have that and you put it in the VCR to rewind it, it took like twice as long to rewind the tape. And this did it in like 5 minutes.
That comes up with a good point. I see now why they went to DVD. You ain't got to rewind them.
Mm-hmm.
Simple answer, right there.
I mean,
it is what it is. I don't know why.
But now and then too, everything has evolved to where it's just. I mean, back then you had to put effort in if you wanted to watch it. You had to get up, you had to take them out, you had to rewind them. You didn't just go on TV and say, "Oh no, click channel." You know, you had to put effort into stuff that you wanted to enjoy. And speaking of Blockbuster, I was looking on. I forgot. I don't remember if it was Netflix or Amazon Prime, but just randomly I came across it. There's an actual whole series called Blockbuster, and it's about all these people that work in a last existing Blockbuster store and are doing everything they can do to keep it surviving. It's actually a whole season. It looks interesting.
To be honest with you, it was one of the... It's something that none of these kids that are around nowadays, if you were underneath the age of 20, I'm sorry. You guys never got to experience a Blockbuster movie. And I feel bad for you. Because, like, that's a family night. You guys took the time out as a family to go and pick out a movie. Maybe two. One for you, one for the family, and then one for you to watch later. Which
behind the
for the kids to watch later. I was fucking 10.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
So maybe I wanted to see a Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and they wanted to watch Murder, She Wrote. Who cares? It doesn't matter. the thing was going out as a family, going there, getting your snacks, getting your movie, and then going home and plugging that thing into the VCR, aging, and
Work
then
out the fuzziness.
watching the movie, right, and then watching the movie with your family. You paused it because you knew you had everything working right. Don't touch nothing. And then all you had to do was go pop your popcorn, everybody get comfortable, and press play. And you sat there as a family and you watched the movie. That's what blockbuster nights were to me.
And it was a highlight of the week too, because especially like me being as a kid, it's like we had a video game store, and then we had a grocery store right next door where we went every week for groceries, and it was always like, okay, my mother's like, okay, I'm gonna go and do grocery shopping, and she goes, you go look in the video store. They used to always have deals if you rented for like 3 or 5 days or something like that. It was like $6, and you got like 3 movies to pick from or 4 movies. They had different deals, and I would go in there and do that. And then instead of buying the candy at the video store, we had a dollar store right next door, and you could go over for $5-6 and get, what you'd pay, now $20-$30 for in a movie theater. You could get a whole shopping bag full of candy for like $6.
Blockbuster taught me patience.
Exactly.
You couldn't get the brand new movies on that deal. You had to wait, dude. You had to wait until the hype calmed down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Jim's a little bit older, so he probably got to experience the red curtain, Blockbuster, in some of the movie stores, but those kind of faded out by the time I was really in movie stores. I mean, it's a couple places had them, but
why do you think I wear glasses?
You sitting way too close to the TV.
Yeah, you're right. No, with my parents, it was on Friday nights. We would go get pizza at a sit-down restaurant, and then go over to Blockbuster or go to a video store, pick out a couple of videos. Usually, Dad would get the pay-per-views on the VHS and watch those, and then we would go home. And of course, I would have to sit there and watch like Halloween Havoc '89. On VHS with my pops, because
this dude never got a pay-per-view.
Dude, you're making me hungry when you say pizza right now, dude. All I can think of is when I was a kid, Pizza Hut, piping hot, 600 like. Dude,
I
degrees.
just had Pizza Hut last night for the first time in like 3 years.
But when I was a kid, it was good. Like now, it's like Domino's. It's like, I used to have the buffet. All you can
dude, I don't give a shit what anybody says. The crust is above all else. Their crust is the number one crust above all. No, I haven't had Jimmy John's or whatever the hell they call it, or there's other weird ones, but no Little Caesars, no Papa John's pizza. I don't think anything comes before.
With y'all two guys being from New York. Y'all mean you didn't ever have a New York slice of pie?
Stop it! We're talking about cheap pizza right now. I'm from Buffalo, dude. You better stop with the pizza talk.
I mean, if you want real New York pizza, you have to go to New York City. I mean, I've had pizza in New York City.
Yeah, go have that.
To get the
I'm sure that's great. Ours is better. I'm from Buffalo. That's what we do.
I mean, thin slice. It depends on what you want. You want thick Sicilian?
You've never had pizza until you've had pizza in Buffalo, New York. I'm sorry. Pizza and wings, that's our shit.
So what's different of it? Tell me what's so different of it in that part of New York? What style are we talking about here? Deep dish?
It's just crust? Buffalo pizza. Nobody has dude, if you eat thin pizza, dude, just make a bowl of pasta sauce.
I mean, I'm Italian. I like regular deep dish or Sicilian.
You're Italian, and you're like, yeah, that's what I like. I need my pizza to have some substance to it.
Man, all Buffalo's famous for is their wings, man.
Do you think people just order wings, or do you think they order pizza and wings?
Wings are just stupid expensive
nowadays. All right, we're gonna stop this right now because it's a movie thing. We're gonna get into this on
pizza and wings movies. They all go together.
Dude, you're
Yeah,
never gonna get a better slice of pie and wings at the same time than you do from Buffalo, New York. Y'all can silence now. Shh.
Nope.
Chicago
Got a whole
style's
bag
good.
of shh. We're here with
Chicago's
both
good.
of them. No.
Oh yeah.
You follow Tony. You follow that guy on Facebook, the Barstool Reviews or whatever that does the pizza reviews. He
You know what?
did one down the road from me about 2 weeks ago.
You know what? Try it. Try it for yourself, and then you tell me.
Okay, recommend the place in Buffalo. When we come out, we'll try it.
Panora's. I like Panora's. I like Bocce's. Bocce's is a good place.
Yeah, you got a lot of weird restaurants. That must be out that way. I mean, we have pizza places, but we have your common shit, Domino's. I mean, we have pizza places in between that.
Lenova's really good too. They're Italian places. You know? Bocce, Panora. Sorry.
Bocce. That's
Actually,
that's
you guys can try this place called Ronnie's.
botulism.
We have a Sergio's around us. It's kind of a chain, but it's not a chain.
I don't know anybody here from Buffalo. You can chime in. There's no other thing that you could possibly get that's better than a Buffalo.
We got Johnny's New York
pie.
style pizza.
Ronnie's has the best blue cheese. And if you come here and you eat ranch on your wings, people are going to look at you funny. Because you're not one of us. It's like when you watch that, what's that called? What's that movie called? Inception? And how people, like, they attacked her like white blood cells. That's how it happens. Don't put ranch on a...
Because you're a hot sauce nut, that's why.
Hell no, I'm not one of y'all. I'm from the dirty South, man. What y'all talking about?
Blue cheese on hot wings.
I mean, to each their own. I mean, I don't eat ranch. I mean, I like ranch, but I don't eat usually any sauce other than the sauce that's on the wings, but I'm not a fan of blue cheese.
You know what?
Haha.
No. Stop clicking buttons. Whoever's clicking buttons. Stop.
Stop.
Because that's false. It's okay to be wrong. It's all good.
Huh?
Yeah, well, apparently you're wrong.
Oh, I'm never wrong.
Yeah, okay. Uh-oh, that sounds like a wrestler I know. Mr. Perfectionist.
I'm never wrong.
You ain't always right either.
No, but
I'm good.
never wrong.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
And if you're wrong, it's somebody else's fault.
Exactly. I have wrong. My producer went bad or something. They give me a bad cue card or something. I don't know. Guys, this has been another movie review, but before we get done with today's adventures, we want to get into a little bit of what we are going to be getting into further. We're not going to announce another movie review because I think the next thing that we're actually going to get into is going to be Star Wars. And I think that the next thing that we get into besides that, as far as Nerdcast, is going to be more interviews and bringing more people on. Like the creator of Spawn.
I'm gonna let you go, okay, Mom?
Like the owner of the comic book shop that just opened up down the street from my house.
Who's the creator of Spawn?
Todd McFarlane. I have reached out to him on Instagram, and I'm waiting for his people to contact me on a date.
Fun fact? I don't mean to cut you off, but fun fact, he's actually related to my boss.
Well, maybe your boss should reach out to him and say, hey, you need to come on Nerdcast.
I mean, you can bring your boss if you want. But
yeah, no.
We just want the creator.
Yeah.
How's he related to him?
I think he's either his sister or you got a sister or a brother or either on his wife's side or something like that. Somebody's He's either married to somebody's sister or brother or something like that through marriage. So he's related to him somehow through marriage somewhere. I'd have to ask him again. I think he said it's his sister's husband or something like that, or sister-in-law's husband or something. Because he was telling me about it one day. He's trying to get him to draw stuff for him, and he won't do it.
Former roommate.
Yeah, he's related through. He's not blood related, but somehow through marriage, through a close relative.
Yeah, he also does the action figure. He has an action figure line called McFarlane Toys with Spawn Toys, and also Justice League. He just came out with.
Actually, I didn't even know this. And Jim, I was going to message you about this earlier, but we were getting busy on all this. Joe, stop.
Do we need to put captions on for when Tony talks?
I just
so you can
found
understand
out
what he's saying?
Oh, wait. Jim, I was going to tell you this. I just found these toys. And the first thing I walked up to, I was going throughout the store. I talked to the owner and everything and got our interview pretty much lined up. He's still setting it up. Great lineup. He has... the Razor Crest. It was a fan-funded project. He has one up there for $575. I am so tempted because I'm pretty sure the price of it when it was fan-funded was $550. But I looked throughout the store. Tons of Seth or McFarlane toys. Seth, sorry guys, I'm a big Family Guy fan. McFarlane toys. And I was really tempted to get this one thing. It was Spawn with a throne. Throne with the big teeth grabbing over top of it and everything. Like,
oh yeah, I've seen it.
I was this close. But I got my girl a Josh Allen Funko because I'm working next door to his house. So
yeah, you know,
maybe I might get it signed. Maybe. Look,
well, with a wing and a prayer, hopefully we can get Todd McFarlane on here. And if we can, you know, hopefully we can have us a great interview. People will show up. People will comment. People will have questions for him. You know, the man is an absolute genius. He's the one that bought the Mark McGwire, I believe it was the 60th home run ball, paid $1 million for it.
Yes, he
did. I think he bought Sammy Sosa's ball too. I'm not 100% sure though on that one. But he's a big, huge baseball fan.
Well, we're going to see what we can do for you guys. And we will come back refreshed with a new face and a new presentation. Because we are moving up. This month, we will have a birthday episode. And that will pretty much conclude our month. Then we will go to Reconstruction. We're going to leave you guys waiting. But until then, I just want to tell you, Bills are going to the Super Bowl.